last match. Lion Fellas. They were much better team.
West, where we're here on sportinglimerick.com for the Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final between Adare and Ballylanders. Of course, Adare champions from last year, and of course Ballylanders last won the title in 2014. I'm delighted to be joined in commentary here by Matt O'Callaghan, the Weekly Observer Vale Star, as usual. And with us is Shawnee Buckley, former Limerick Senior Football captain. A few county titles with Drumbradford over the years as well. Lads, game ahead of us, Matt.
Yeah, you would hope so anyway. I suppose it's little surprise that Adare are here. They took the championship by storm last year, and picked up on it this year, and by any standard had an absolutely smashing group stages where they won five straight games. Ballylanders, by contrast, have come in. They've come in a small bit under the radar, and I suppose, despite being here in the final, and despite beating many people's favourites this year, Newcastle West, there's still that little bit under the radar. They had a poor start to the campaign, in that they picked up 1 point in April from the two games, albeit one of them was with champions Adare. And then they went on a run, and when they met Shawnee's Drumbradford in the third round, they picked up a first win, and from there they've been unbeaten since. They have beaten Monleen, they have beaten the Pierce, they have beaten Ballysteen, they've beaten Newcastle West, and they're here. And many people will say they have rode their luck quite a bit. But like winning county titles is all about, to a certain extent, riding your luck and getting the breaks. Memories of 4 years ago here, it was at this very venue that they won their last county title, and the sun was shining like it's shining today. So, like, if you're looking for omens, maybe.
Shawnee, what kind of task do Ballylanders have in beating this Adare team? They've effectively but they've done very well. Haven't expended a lot of energy in reaching this final unbeaten. They were able to afford to drop a few players and rest a few players in their last group game since then, and still come away with the win. In fairness, they did struggle to overcome Monaghan in the semi-final, but they're unbeaten since they played Drumbradford last June, in June 2017 I should say. They're a serious team, and they're a young team.
They are. It's a big challenge now. The other side of that, putting back to back, has proved difficult for a lot of teams. Getting through the group, Adare have come through fairly handy, with 5 out of 5 and a semi-final win. And the semi-final win, I suppose, showed that they can tough it out a small bit against Monaghan when they had to, and it was a low-scoring game. But I think they proved probably a lot of people that, look, whether you drop against them or whether you push up and try and outscore them or whatever you do, they possibly have an answer for it. Having said that, look, the first round, I was looking here today, and the first round of the championship started back at the end of March. It's 7 months to play 7 games, so momentum is a big thing then. If you can build your momentum towards the end of the campaign, which I suppose Bally have done coming into today, and especially the win over Newcastle West, they'll be hugely confident after that. And certainly, if there's any team that won't fear anyone in the county, it's Bally.
Indeed it is, and we'll just go do a quick run through with the teams before we get underway here in Newcastle West. Out with Brendan Carmody in goals, full back line of Jack Fitzconnor and David Connolly. Full half back line, Oran Collins, Owen Ryan and Paul Maher. They have Stephen Keeley and Jack English in midfield. Half forward line of Davy Lyons, Hugh Burke and Mikey Lyons. And then of course in the full forward line, Mark Connolly, Robbie Burke and of course Shane O'Connor. Ballylanders line out as follows: Declan O'Connor's in goals, Morris Kelly, Jason Lee and Owen Martin in the full back line, Brian O'Connell and Stephen Walsh captains aside from centre back. They're joined by Tom O'Dwyer in the wing back line. William Martin and Mark O'Connell line out at midfield with Ona Mahoney, Kieran Kelly, Danny Fruin in the half forward line, and a full forward line of Jimmy Barry Murphy, Owen Walsh and Steve Fox. Matt, we've seen Ballylanders on a few occasions this time. The likes of Ona Mahoney and Mark O'Connell have excelled at times for them.
Yeah, I've seen all their games except the Newcastle West game. And I think the difference with Ballylanders this year, you remember they were champions in 2014, didn't successfully defend their title in 2015. They were knocked out in the semi-final by Newcastle West. And then in 2016, they had a season from hell in which that they were lucky to survive and had to rely on the relegation playoff to survive when they beat Pallaskenry. Then last year they reached the quarter-final, drew with Adare. But the difference with Ballylanders this year is that, and as you know, I would be close to the scene there, they have young players that are standing up, 3 or 4 young players, because when they won the county here in 4 years ago, 2014, you had players like Tom Lee, you had players like Johnny Murphy, you had players like Tom K. Fox, you had players like Ger Casey. They were stalwarts of the teams, and for different reasons they're gone now. But the new brood of Brian O'Connell has been stepping up very much to the mark this year. Owen Mahoney is coming into his own. Kieran Kelly has been shown very well for him. Tom O'Dwyer has grown into being a good club senior footballer. So look, they are the type of pluses that they have, and I suppose that goes somewhere to explaining the reason that the Ballylanders that essentially have struggled since winning the county 4 years ago are doing much better this year. I saw him on the opening round against St. Sinnans. I have to say I was pessimistic enough after that, but 7 days later the performance they put on against Adare, I really thought that there was something there, and I've said that to you before. I thought there was something there, and that's how it has turned out. And I think every moment silence here at the moment.
Just a minute's silence here for Newcastle West, and we'll be back with Shawnee Buckley then. As the Oran Naveen about to start, where do you see the threat coming from Adare today? What do Ballylanders have to watch out for?
Probably when you look through the Adare team, Hugh Burke, Mikey Lyons probably inside are the obvious 2 threats. Now Robbie Burke, I suppose the last they did damage. Are we going to
Shantir Shilshur Fasta Niak for Quintier Nothing Troll Anokta him Savarna will Leganar Welcome Boss No Seal Legani Scrake Free Love Nabile Shalif Khani Aura Navi.
Sean, you were just saying there about the Adare threats.
Yeah, Mikey Lyons for me is a key player for them. You look, what Adare try and do a lot of the time is keep Mikey inside deep, and he's a huge target man running out. He doesn't collect high ball or anything, but it's out in front of him. He makes the hard runs, and when he gets on the ball, he drags the whole Adare team up the field and try and get off his shoulder. That's a key part of their game plan. Now what in the semi-final, what Newcastle or what Monaleen did was drop lots of bodies back. And they nullified probably him a lot and nullified Hugh Burke, but I suppose the key thing that way, Adare found another way to win, and that's why they're in the final here today.
We've late changed the Ballylanders team, Matt.
Yeah, I was down with him there just before I came up, and I had a sense that this was going to happen. Unfortunately, a late fitness test, Owen Walsh has failed to make it. but they're in the happy position that they have a player of the calibre of Kieran O'Callaghan to call into the fray at this stage. So it's a late change in the full forward line. Kieran O'Callaghan for Owen Walsh. But I'd just like to take up one point there that Shawnee made, and a very, very valid point in relation to Adare. I think we saw a different type of Adare in the semi-final against Monaleen, because normally it's an Adare playing on the front foot, and on that occasion, for the first time, they were really asked to defend for a considerable amount of time, and they did it, with discipline, and they did it with cohesion, and saw out the game. To me, it added a dimension to Adare's game.
Early free here for Adare, as Ballylanders made the first attack of this game. It's going to be Stephen Keeley to take it right in front of us here in the commentary box in Newcastle West. He lays the ball off, and it's Robbie Burke that's come out. Keeley back inside now to Paul Maher. Maher forced over to give it over to the left hand side, and his centre back, it's Owen Ryan. Adare now making play down the left hand side. It's back inside again. It's Ryan once more with possession as Adare. Patient build up from their first attack at this Limerick Senior Football Championship final, brought to you on sportinglimerick.com. Adare now not moving beyond the halfway until Oran Collins takes possession. Collins now looks down at his options in the full forward lines. Collins more patient build up as Robbie Burke once more here for Adare. Adare in no rush to move this ball as of yet. It's Owen Ryan now once more as Adare look to launch one up. It's Paul Maher now, eventually gets inside to Lyons. Lyons lays it off, and it's Oran Collins once more under pressure from the good defending from Ballylanders, and out comes Declan O'Connor. Well defended from Ballylanders early on, Shawnee.
Yeah, what you see there straight away is Bally probably dropping back and taking something out of what Monaleen did against Adare. All they have upfield now at the minute is Jimmy Barry and or Callahan in the half forward line. Everyone else is back. They'll try and break now with a bit of speed if they can.
Indeed it is. It's Brian O'Connell with the ball. It's a low enough one and looking for Jimmy Barry Murphy. Adare have a screen in front of him, and it's Owen Ryan that's going to come away with the ball from an Adare point of view. Worked up now as far as Davy Lyons. Davy Lyons gives it back inside to Jack Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald now again another patient build up here from Adare, and it's Davy Lyons now on the run with the ball. As Shawnee Buckley just mentioned, at Ballylanders taking a leaf out of Monaleen's book in the semi-final, funneling back players whenever they get it, whenever Adare look to come forward. Now in the early stages, 2.5 minutes gone of this Limerick Senior Football Championship. Jack English now with the ball, leaves the ball off to Hugh Burke. Hugh Burke now, one of the main stars of this Adare team from a scoring point of view. It's out to Paul Maher. Maher under good pressure, good defending again from Ballylanders now, but it's laid off to English. English now looks for a shooting opportunity. It's Jack English with the effort, looking for the first score of the game. It's tailed to the left and wide, and Matt, Ballylanders will be happy, even though Adare have all the possession. Ballylanders will be happy with the start.
Yeah, they'll be happy to have contained them, and certainly Jack English, I think he tried his luck on that one, because it was a good distance, but Jack English has converted from long range, and of course Jack English is one player on the Adare team with very, very strong Ballylanders connections.
Great catch there from Brian O'Connell from Declan O'Connor's kick out. It was a high kick out. O'Connor not giving Brian O'Connell the best of chances of winning that. Back with play now, it's Mark O'Connell, lays it off to his midfield partner Liam Martin, and it's Stevie Fox onto Brian O'Connell as well. Trademark of Ballylander seasons, Brian O'Connell raiding forward from his half back position. He lays the ball off to Owen O'Mahony. O'Mahony now, as Ballylanders look to get the first score of this game. It's another patient build up, just like it there in the last couple of minutes. Ballylanders being forced to slow things down, but it's Stevie Fox with a diagonal effort. It's going to bounce into the hands of Brendan Carmody, and he lays the ball off. An easy take for the Adare keeper, and it's Adare who come away again with it. Man in possession is David Connolly. He's got Mark Connolly alongside him on the right hand side. He eventually gives it to Mark. Mark Connolly now with time and space in front of him. He looks to give it inside to Hugh Burke. It's back to Connolly again. It's David Connolly. That's going to tail left to the wide, if indeed it had. Declan O'Connor decided to play the ball, and he launches. Not a great clearance from him. It's straight into the hands of Paul Maher. That's going to be a free, according to Mike Sexton. A trip on Paul Maher, and Shawnee. Poor enough clearance from Declan O'Connor. Well intercepted by Paul Maher, and it gives Adare the chance and Hugh Burke the chance to open the scoring here.
Yeah, cagey enough start, I think, from both sides. Again, just what you're seeing down the other end of the field here is Kieran Callan now on his own, but Adare always have an extra man. Jack Fitzgerald is there at the minute. It's going to end up up and down for a while, unless a couple of scores for Adare will make a difference, and it probably will bring Ballylanders up the field a small bit. The longer it stays low scoring, the longer you're going to see probably discontinue as regards numbers in defence for Ballylanders. But I suppose a lot will depend on the first couple of scores here of the game.
It's Robbie Burke who actually takes the free. Looks to be good from our angle in the commentary box, and Matt O'Callaghan with the opening score of the 2008 Limerick Senior Football Final.
Yeah, and it was from distance, and it was from the ground, but of course Robbie Burke is a very, very good dead ball kicker, and in another sport he's the dead ball kicker with UL Bohemians, so it certainly was within his ambit. But there's an early message to Ballylanders that they cannot, on a day like today, afford to give away frees with a player like Robbie Burke around.
Kieran Martin now in possession. He gives it to Jason Lee. Lee wearing number 17 came in for Shane Fox at the start of the game. Fox out injured. Mark O'Connell now with possession for Ballylanders. O'Connell with a shooting opportunity. Looks a great score here from Mark O'Connell. Ballylanders are on the board, 1 point each after 6 minutes.
Yeah, great score there. Their attacked the numbers that time and found a runner, a shot from 40 yards. Look, you won't score them all, but when they go over, they're a great score, and a good start to Bally to level that one up there.
Fine effort from Ballylanders, and now they have a sideline cut as Adare's sideline ball, I should say, as Adare's kick out goes astray. Back inside from Kieran O'Callaghan to Liam Martin. Martin's fouled on that occasion by Stephen Keeley. Ballylanders looking to play this quickly. They're going to have to slow it down on this occasion. It's quick enough ball in, and it's Owen O'Mahony in possession. Owen O'Mahony has been one of the stars of this Ballylanders team this season. O'Mahony on the run, shooting opportunity for Owen O'Mahony. That's going to tail to the right and wide. Their first wide of the game, Matt. But Owen O'Mahony is a danger of that, there's no question.
Well, Owen O'Mahony, and we flagged it at the outset, Owen O'Mahony and Kieran Kelly have brought something new to this Ballylanders team, and they are a threat. And of course, Danny Froon in the campaign so far has hit a rich vein of form, particularly in the last 2 or 3 games. So there is threat there. Shawnee was saying, like, if Adair got a couple of scores to draw Ballylanders out, even the first 3 seems to have drawn him out.
It has, and Adair on the attack again with Mikey Lyons. Lyons looks back, has to look back inside, and it's inside to Stephen Keeley. Keeley now met with Mark O'Connell. It's a good interception there from a Ballylanders point of view, and it's away they come with the ball. Brian O'Connell in possession now. He's faced by Shane O'Connor from the Adair number 15, but it's Brian O'Connell still going. Low ball from Brian O'Connell onto the run, and here come Ballylanders. Chance now for Kieran Martin. He decides to give it back to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Adair know they can't give him chances. They don't give him a chance to shoot. Instead they decide to foul him. Jimmy Barry Murphy goes down, and of course Kieran Martin with the move, but Sean, you can't give Jimmy Barry Murphy that chance.
No,
and Adair didn't.
That's exactly what Ballylanders would have been working towards, breaking at pace, hard runners, work it into Jimmy Barry, and in that kind of position there's no better man than Jimmy Barry to win a free in that kind of position. It's clever, uses himself, uses his body well, and gets a free for his team, and it should be a score here.
Indeed, it's a huge opportunity for Ballylanders to go a point ahead. It's Kieran O'Callaghan who's going to take this free from about 5 or 6 or 7 metres outside the 21, nearly 30 metres out. It's O'Callaghan from his hands. But Ballylanders 2 points to 1 in front. That looks to be good from our angle in the commentary box, and yes it is. And Matt, Kieran O'Callaghan is in, as we know from the start today. He's a man who can score at will.
Yeah, he can score, and those type of frees he'll score them all day. But apart from that, Kieran O'Callaghan is a man that relishes the big day, and invariably when Ballylanders get into big games, very rarely does Kieran fail to deliver.
There now on the attack once more, Stephen Keeley wearing number 8 for them, lays the ball out to his left as Paul Maher. Good 20 metres of space for Maher as Owen O'Mahony comes eventually to close down, but it's Maher on the run now, and he's beaten 3 Ballylanders players. Good run here from Paul Maher. He's eventually stopped, he eventually lays the ball off, and it's Davy Lyons with possession. Lyons forced to give it back to Hugh Burke. Back to Lyons once more, steps past one man. Davy Lyons now on about to shoot. It's a high one, it's not going anywhere near the goals. Robbie Burke tries to get it, but it's well caught by Brian O'Connell, and Brian O'Connell now looks to come away, but it's a free But again, good defending from Ballylanders, Shawnee.
Yeah, momentum definitely with Bally at the minute. Just numbers back in defence and crucial turnovers. Here they're breaking again now. Playing right into Ballylanders' hands at the minute. They need to play a more open game. They need to try and work both sides of the field. They're playing a little narrow and panicky in the shots, and Bally are too smart for that. Here comes Jimmy Barry again.
It's Jimmy Barry Murphy in possession. He's forced it, kind of flick it away, and Owen Ryan has done very well for Adare to win possession. Mike Sexton, the referee from Brewery, playing advantage, and away comes Mark Connolly. Lays it off to Stephen Keeley. Keeley's well defended. As Brian O'Connell got the block, and he's saying with his shoulder. He was in the midst of kicking the ball, so it's going to be a free all day long for that type of challenge. Brian O'Connell questions it, Matt, but that's no surprise to see Brian O'Connell question it.
No. That's more or less par for the course. Brian doesn't see anything wrong in those type of stuff. But look, Brian has been much maligned many times, but he is just a totally wholehearted player, totally committed, and he only sees one thing, the ball, and tough luck if you get in the way.
And Adare on the attack now after that free. It's Hugh Burke, a good move from York, steps past Mark O'Connell, right footed pass inside. He's looking for his brother Robbie, but it's well defended again from Ballylanders. We're cutting out the majority of their attacks at will at this stage. Danny Froon on the run, under pressure. It's going to be a free for Danny Froon, and this, as Shawty Buckley mentioned a couple of minutes ago, is playing right into Ballylanders' hand as they restart play. It's a long one. It's Brian O'Connell on the run. He's not able to win it. It's Adare with Aidan O'Connor with possession. Frontal charge it looked to. Brian O'Connell certainly thinks it was. Referee Mike Sexton plays away, and it's Jack Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald now lays the ball ahead to Stephen Keeley. Keeley now beats his first man, and that was Stephen Walsh. It's going to be a free. Late enough challenge there from Stephen Walsh. There now with Stephen Keeley slowing it down. 11.5 minutes played of this Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final. Ballylanders leading last season's champions Adare 2-1 as Adare on the go again now. Hugh Burke hand passes it inside to Owen. It's a poor enough one from Hugh Burke, and Declan O'Connor races to keep this in play. He can't. The ball's gone out wide. It's another wide for Adare. And Sean, we've mentioned it already, but it's a very nervy start from Adare. They haven't got any rhythm going yet, mainly down to Ballylanders. Yeah,
just when a team has numbers back in defence, you have to play around it a little bit, hold possession of the ball. Adare are constantly trying to go through the middle here, trying to run down blind alleys, and it's just not on. A huge turnover again. We were mentioning Brian O'Connell there a while ago. He's at the centre of everything. Bally are doing well back in defence, but Bally, when they break, they shouldn't be kicking ball away. Run with the ball, work it at least to the 45 at the opposite side of the field, and then get a pass inside to Jimmy Barry, because he is on.
Danny Froon in possession now, under pressure from Owen Ryan, but it's Froon. He's had a fantastic season, and Matt O'Callaghan are not going to see too many better scores than that in any level of football.
No, but in many ways it's typical of the type of scores that he's been getting in the last few games. You remember when we covered the Ballystein game, he was scoring for fun. I think he got a goal and 5 points, all from play, and in that type of situation, that is only mirroring some of the scores he got on that particular day.
Outstanding season thus far from Danny Froon. He's looking to take his form into this final here as Brendan Carmody relaunches play. It's the easy catch for Stephen Keeley, and away coming there once more. It's Keeley now all the way up to Davy Lyons. Davy Lyons now, plenty of room to run into. Lyons with a shooting chance. That's going to tail to the wide left and wide again. Another missed chance for it there, Sean.
Yeah, Bally have really got into it. The game is really starting to liven up here, and most attacks are bringing shots at the end of it, albeit a couple of poor ones there from Adare. But the lift that kind of score from Danny Froon will Ballylanders there will be unbelievable. They have all the momentum now. Everything they spoke about, everything going right, it's really clicking for them at the minute.
Restart game here from Declan O'Connor. Huge kick, very high kick, but it's Ballylanders now seem to be winning every loose ball, and it's Liam Martin gives it back to Stevie Fox and all the way out to Kieran Kelly. Kelly faced by Owen Ryan, Adare centre back inside to Liam Martin now. Gives it to his captain Stephen Walsh. Walsh and Jimmy Barry Murphy, as he's inclined to do, has come out well outside from his corner forward. Burt lays it off to Kieran O'Callaghan. Callaghan now not going to lose any kind of ball like that. Big powerful man. Back to Stevie Walsh. Walsh now looking for options, looking for runners. He finds one. Good ball in. That's going to be Owen O'Mahony who's fouled. A needless foul from their point of view, Matt, and a chance for Kieran O'Callaghan to extend Ballylanders' lead to 3 points.
Yeah, and like we talked there a while ago about Ballylanders giving away frees with Robbie Burke on the field. it's not very wise on the part of Adare to be giving them away with Kieran O'Callaghan on the field up here at this end. But Adare are finding it difficult to get into any kind of rhythm, and I think Ballylanders are frustrating them at the moment, and certainly they have not got into the type of pattern that they normally play, and maybe there's a real challenge about to be put down to them, although you would have to caution that Monaleen got a very, very early goal, and they were patient enough and just got back into it and then got a goal of their own. But there's the potential with this shot coming up from Kieran O'Callaghan that they will find themselves 4 points to 1 down after about 12 minutes. And sure, look, it has gone over the black spot. It is 4 points to 1.
Fine effort there from Kieran O'Callaghan. 15 and a half minutes played here in Newcastle West, and it's Ballylanders leading Adare in the Limerick Senior Football Championship final, 4 points to 1. As Brendan Carmody restarts play with a kick out, it was a short one on this occasion, and away come Adare once more. Tone Ryan leaves the ball off. It's Paul Maher, his fellow wing back man, on possession, but again it's Ballylanders. If this time Adare come out with it, indeed it don't, and it's Danny Froon who picks up the loose ball. And more hunting in packs, you'd have to say at this stage. Ballylanders is Kieran Kelly on the run, gives a low ball into Callahan. Kieran O'Callaghan now lays it off to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Murphy with half a yard of space. Jimmy Barry Murphy, 5 points to 1 Ballylanders, and they're by far and away the better team at this stage of the game, Shawnee.
Yeah, they're bringing everything. They're bringing the intensity. They're all fired up. Fist pump there from Jimmy Barry. He's trying to lift the team, bring the team with him. They have all the momentum here. Adare better take control a small bit of the game, or it could start to slip away. You don't want the game going to 6-7 points coming up to half time. 4 points is manageable. Adare would really do with the next score to try and bring themselves back in and give themselves a lift.
Another attack for Adare, but again it's one, and this time it's Owen Martin who wins the ball from a Ballylanders point of view. It's taken off him from 3 Adare men, and it's Owen Ryan now with it. Oren Collins, in fact, who has the ball. Jack English with the long one inside to Davy Lyons. Lyons now under immediate pressure from Jason Lee. Lyons manages to find Jack English again. English now, he's had one shot already in goals. He leaves the ball off. It's Mikey Lyons with the shot. A badly needed score for there. Well taken by Mikey Lyons, Matt.
Yeah, very good score by Mikey Lyons, and in the circumstances in which you were in, and although the move was quite good and it was precise, the one in those circumstances that you want to get on the end of it is somebody with the experience of Mikey Lyons, and once it came to Mikey Lyons, there wasn't any doubt as to where it was going. 5
points to 2 here after 17 minutes of the Limerick Senior Football Championship final, brought to you on SportingLimerick.com. It's Ballylanders leading Adare 5 points to 2, with Mike Sexton giving Adare another free here. Stephen Keeley set to take it. Takes it quickly. It's Hugh Burke now. Hugh Burke has Mark Connolly on his outside, and he gives it to Mark Connolly. Connolly now back inside. Hugh Burke on the run. He's got Davy Lyons out front inside. In fact, it's Mikey Lyons. Lyons now stretches inside. He's definitely overcarried. Adare aren't happy with the call, but Mike Sexton has given the free. It's going to be a free out for Ballylanders for Mikey Lyons over carrying. And here's Brian O'Connell from Ballylanders, faced by Stephen Keeley. O'Connell tried to use his pace, instead he gives it back inside. It's Kieran Kelly with the ball under severe pressure from Mark Connolly, but Kelly uses his pace to get away. Back to Stevie Fox. And of course, Stevie Fox as always plays in that sweeper position in front of his half back line. Leaves the ball off to Liam Martin. Martin with a high, complete and utter miss kick. Needless ball there. I'm not sure what Liam Martin was trying. It looks like he was trying to give it into Kieran O'Callaghan. He was well off target on that occasion, Matt.
Yeah, and a few that were kicked out there in that direction earlier on. They had found their way to either Ron O'Mahony or Kieran Kelly, but both of them were absent on that occasion. And it was overcooked. Kieran O'Callaghan was never going to get it.
Stephen Keeley now lays the ball off for Mikey Lyons from Adare. Back inside to Oren Collins. Oren Collins now gives it out the wing, and it's Robbie Burke. Robbie Burke now over on the far side here in Newcastle West. Gives it off to O'Connor. That's Shane O'Connor now in possession. Ballylanders with one man inside the Adare half at the moment as Oren Collins has possession now. Adare are going to have to be patient on this attack. It's Aidan O'Connor, team captain for the day, with Shane O'Doherty on the sideline. Stephen Keeley now. He gives it outside to Hugh Burke. Hugh Burke steps inside onto his left foot. Looking for options is Hugh Burke. Very few available to him up the middle, so he has to give it outside. Outside on the wing. It's a shot on target. It's gone to the left. It's Paul Maher's effort. And again, Shawnee, it's very good defending from Ballylanders, forcing Adare to shoot from distance, and more importantly, players that wouldn't be noted for scoring that are ending up taking the shots.
Yeah, well, that was more like it from Adare in a way. They built it over and back and eventually created an extra man out wide. As you said, you probably want the likes, maybe Hugh Burke, Mikey Lyons, Robbie Burke, one of these lads on the end of it to take the shot. But that is what they should be working towards, exactly what they did there.
Long high kick out from Declan O'Connor. That's brilliantly taken by Oran Collins, and Oran Collins leaves the ball off quick. Jack English back outside then with the hand pass to Paul Maher. Maher's going to have to look back inside the lines. That's Mikey Lyons. Lyons on the run. He's Oran Collins going in front of him. He gives it into Robbie Burke. Burke's hand pass looking for Oran Collins, who seemed to be going through on goal. Goes astray, and it's Ballylanders now trying to work it out once more. It's Mark O'Connell winning a free, and Matt, bit of a sniff there for Adare.
Of signs that Adare were up and trying to find a bit of form and a bit of efficiency that you normally associate with them, but Ballylanders are still defending in numbers and with great intensity, but it's a high risk strategy because it's quite warm out there today, believe it or not, and you know, legs could tire as the game moves on, but at the moment it's working for Ballylanders, but there are signs over the last couple of minutes that Adare are beginning to slowly, but we have Ballylanders attacking here now at this end.
Kieran O'Callaghan possession now. It's a left-footed effort from Kieran O'Callaghan. That's another stunning score from Kieran O'Callaghan, and that's what Kieran O'Callaghan brings to you when he's on the field. Another fantastic score that puts Ballylanders into a 6-2 lead, Shawnee.
Yeah, just Ballylanders' efficiency at the minute. You know, if they get forward, they're getting it to the right man. They're getting it to Kieran Callahan. They're getting it to Jimmy Barry in the right place. And you know, if there's one thing Kieran Callahan has, it's one of the best shots in the county. Anything inside 40 yards, you can almost chalk it up before he kicks it.
Again, Adare on the attack now. A bit more room in the attack, and it's Stephen Keeley with a chance. Keeley with the chance makes no mistake from close range. Stephen Keeley, and immediately Adare respond.
Yeah, the game might be just about to begin to open up now, because that, from an Adare point of view, was the perfect response, because they had a bit of pressure down there, got nothing from it. Suddenly Ballylanders come down. Kieran O'Callaghan kicks a monstrous point. Shawnee is absolutely right. It's terribly important in those type of situations who you get on the ball into the scoring positions, and the one time that Adare got Mikey Lyons. Mikey
Lyons on the run after they dispossess Ballylanders, and it's a chance now maybe for Adare. It's Robbie Burke on the ball, tries to give it to his brother Hugh. Adare lucky enough to hold on to it. It's Jack English who eventually has the score. Again, it's got tailed to the left, and from a very good attacking position, Adare there when Robbie Burke came out with the ball, and misplaced hand pass Shawnee, and it put Jack English under pressure to have a go, and he was off balance hitting it, and it went wide.
Yeah, just handling from Robbie Burke has been quite poor on the last couple of occasions there. Just poor hand passes. Just needs to settle it down. You want to be getting Mikey Lyons on the ball a lot more, Hugh Burke on the ball a lot more for Adare. They're the fellas that steadied the ship is small, but cool heads. Just relax and play a bit of wit in your game and keep the ball for a while. The chances will come. This game is, you know, there's heaps of time left. Obviously, there should be no panic. Just recycle ball.
There's Ciarán Kelly now with possession right in front of us here in the commentary box in Newcastle West. This game being brought to you on SportingLimerick.com. Liam Martin now is his midfield partner, Mark O'Connell on the run. O'Connell has it, lays a hand pass he didn't need to do. It still falls to Kieran O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan under pressure now, goes down under the challenge of Jack English. Referee Mike Sexton waves play away, correctly so on that occasion, and Adare come away with the ball with Aidan O'Connor. Leaves the ball off with a hand pass to Paul Maher as Adare trying to break quickly. Comes out here to Stephen Keeley. He's Mikey Lyons in front of him. Mikey Lyons now is going to bring play back in to the inside. Lyons now looking at options ahead of him. Leaves the ball off. It's Mark Connolly now. Good turn from Mark Connolly. Beats one, beats two. Leaves the ball off. Hugh Burke chance now. Burke back inside. Shane O'Connor can't take control. There's still a chance here for O'Connor. O'Connor has the ball. Leaves it off. Hugh Burke. Burke now with a chance. Burke decides to tap it over. A half chance of a goal. Adare have to settle for the point. and Matt O'Callaghan, and you've said it a couple of minutes ago, they're starting to play a bit of football now.
Yeah, they are, and I thought they had run out of road there. The Ballylanders had defended it again because they were back again in numbers, and the window of opportunity that Hugh Burke got to finish it was very minimal altogether. But a good finish by Hugh Burke, it brings it back to 2 points, and I suppose it reflects that Adare have upped the ante a bit.
So Adare with possession again here in this Limerick Senior Football Championship final. Ball laid off to David Connolly. David Connolly gives it to Mikey Lyons with oceans of room in front of him. He's going to be faced by Brian O'Connell. He decides to give it in quickly and early. Gives it in, and it's Robbie Burke now with a chance as Davy Lyons took possession from Davy Lyons. It's a poor effort from Mark Connolly. He's done brilliantly to keep that effort from Robbie Burke in play. Connolly now with a chance of his own. That's a sensational effort from Mark Connolly, and that's one of the scores of the half thus far. Brilliant play to keep the ball in the first place was Mark Connolly. Then did brilliantly to fashion a shooting chance for him, and then did even better again Shawnee Buckley to find a way to get that over the bar.
Yeah, an incredible shot at the end of it. Really, really good. An attack that looked like it was coming to nothing. Again, just to go back, I think Mikey Lyons is the key again. He's giving some weight here to Adare, and just simple balls inside, but he's doing the right thing every single time. The more often you do the right thing, things will eventually come right for you, and that's what he's doing, keeping it simple enough, but doing the right thing, most of the time.
It's Ballylanders leading Adare 6 points to 5. 25 and a half minutes played as Danny Froon on the attack here for Ballylanders. Froon straight in front of goals, 35 metres out, straight over the black spot. Danny Froon's second point of the game. Another fantastic score from him. Another fantastic score. Well worked, quick score from the kick out, Matt O'Callaghan.
Yeah, and I suppose it's Ballylanders being clinical in front of goal. They're leading by 7 points to 5. Adare are leading in the wides count by 5-1. So I suppose that in a way reflects it's the finishers that have Ballylanders where they are.
Indeed it is. Ballylanders now with a 2 point lead with just over 26 minutes played of this Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final here in Newcastle West, brought to you on sportinglimerick.com. Kick out from Brendan Carmery. Liam Martin gets a hand to it as Froon in possession again. Danny Froon now has options. It's a 50-50 ball given over the far side. A blatant push by Owen O'Mahony. That's going to be a free out to Adare, as Adare now looking to move things forward quickly. Eventually have to go sideways to David Connolly, and it's Connolly now with room to run into. Players either side of him, and he gives it off. Paul Maher with possession now, and it's Mikey Lyons, as Shawnee Buckley mentioned, having a growing influence in this second half. Huge run by Mikey Lyons, eventually lays the ball off. Ball back inside now from Owen Ryan to Jack English, and it's misplaced hands as Ballylanders in possession now with a chance to break here, and have men marauding forward. It's Kieran Kelly with possession. He's got Brian O'Connell in front of him. It's O'Connell that has it. O'Connell now has oceans of pace in front of him. He's an effort from Brian O'Connell. Looked to be tailing to the right and wide, and it is, but Shawnee, he was on the run. It was a shot he probably felt he had to take on. Yeah, and
the game as well kind of stretched now at the minute. Pace at either side, and it's very direct, very direct running. Again, if you look at the Ballylanders scores, it's Jimmy Barry Murphy, it's Kieran Callan and Danny Froon. If there was three lads at the start of the game, you were going to say who's going to do the scoring for Ballylanders, it would be those three. So through the form here, Stephen Fox now.
It's a great effort from Stevie Fox, and he adds to their lead, puts it 3 points into the lead once more. Fine effort, dispossessed Adare inside their own 45 metre line, Matt, and worked the ball in, and Stevie Fox, who wouldn't be more noted for his shooting, tapped that one over with aplomb.
Yeah, but he does chip in with crucial scores from time to time, but the contribution that Stevie Fox has made to this Ballylanders effort, not just this year but over the years, he has been so long around. Like, he's seeking a third county senior medal today, and that is not by accident, but the value of Stevie Fox very often goes unnoticed. He's a totally underrated player, and he's a huge player in the whole Ballylanders setup. Even in the bad days, in the last couple of years when things weren't going that well, Stevie Fox was still to the fore, dragging him out of it. And as I say, his contribution very often goes unnoticed.
Brian O'Connell now with another shooting chance for Ballylanders. He missed his last effort straight into Brendan Carmody's hands on this occasion. 2 missed chances for Brian O'Connell in the last couple of minutes, either side of that Stevie Fox point, and Adare come away with the ball. It's Aidan O'Connor in possession. Gives it back to Robbie Burke, who's a long way away from his starting full forward position now. It's worked to Mikey Lyons. Lyons with a good bit of room to run into now, and that's not good news for Ballylanders. It's Stevie Fox who tries to tackle him. He doesn't, not successful. Switches it with David Collins. Mikey Lyons with a point. Oh, it's a great catch from Declan O'Connor. Looked to be going over the bar. Fine catch from the very, very experienced Ballylanders keeper. Mikey Lyons didn't get enough probably on the shot, as Declan O'Connor has the ball again here. Forced to kick it clear to Jason Lee. Ballylanders will come away with it. Just initial now, we have 3 minutes of added time to play at the end of this first half of the Limerick Senior Football Championship final. It's going to be a sideline ball for Adare in front of us here. And it's Aidan O'Connor to take it. Aidan O'Connor now assessing his options. Not much options in front of him, certainly. He may be forced to go back with it, and indeed he does. Gives it back to David Connolly, and Connolly will start another attack for Adare by passing the ball to Jack English. English has Shane O'Connor on his left. Pretty much time up now, except for them 3 minutes at the end of this first half. O'Connor forced to give it back to midfield, and it's David Connolly again. Connolly. There's two Ballylanders men in front of him. He's forced to hand pass to Mikey Lyons, and Mikey Lyons now under pressure from Owen Martin. Ball back outside to Oran Collins, and Adare forced to start again with Owen Ryan. Ryan has Aidan O'Connor on his left. He decides to give it out the wing to Shane O'Connor on the far side here in Newcastle West. Back inside now to Owen Ryan. Ryan under pressure from Jimmy Barry Murphy. Murphy just looking to hold him up. He's forced to give it back again, and Adare made be patient here. It's Davy Lyons with possession. Lyons now as Adare run through the middle. It's Hugh Burke with the shot. Under pressure, Hugh Burke. And that pressure told in the end. Very good defending from Ballylanders, Matt. And that's another wide for Adare.
Yeah, Adare will be disappointed with it. It looks as if Ballylanders will hold out for a three-point lead. And I suppose you'd have to say that they deserve probably a 3-point lead. They deserve to be in front. Whether they deserve to be 3 points in front or not is questionable, because I suppose it's the difference between the finishers on both sides that Ballylanders are finishing their opportunities. As Shawnee said there, Jimmy Barry Murphy, Kieran O'Callaghan, Danny Froome, they've been getting on the mark, and Ballylanders are threatening here again.
It's Mark O'Callaghan who leaves the ball off to Kieran O'Callaghan. It's O'Callaghan with another chance, and that's a stunning effort from Kieran O'Callaghan. A magic wand at the moment with that left foot of his. A superb score again. Well worked move from Ballylanders. Mark O'Connell making the initial incision through the Adare defence. O'Callaghan timed his run perfectly. All he needed was half a yard. Shawnee plopped that one over the bar.
Yeah, and possibly again Mark O'Connell has a point, but I think he has anyway. But he ran through, and he could have taken his own shot. But again, you're looking for Kieran Callaghan, you're looking for Jimmy Barry. Kieran's on fire at the minute. Anything he swings his legs at, it's going over. Possibly it looked like the keeper could have possibly clawed it like Declan O'Connor did at the other side of the field, but just tapped it over on that occasion. That's a huge score. Coming up to half time, that's a huge score before half time. 4-point lead is fairly big, and it tells Ballylanders at half time basically keep doing what we're doing. They're getting very frustrated. They may have 2 or 3 wides in a row there. It is every one of those wides plays straight into it's like a shot in the arm to Ballylanders, every single one of those wides, and it's straight into what they would have hoped would happen in this game. It is exactly what they wanted. 2.5
minutes of added time played. There's a Ballylanders man down, and it's they that lead Adare. Last season champions Adare, 9 points to 5 in the final minute of this added time. Matt, as Shawnee mentioned there, some of Adare's players playing right into Ballylanders' hands.
Yeah, that is the way it has been in this first half, and taking a 4-point lead into half time, having made it 4 points just before half time, having the boost of getting the last score of the half could be hugely important in the context of this game. There is a serious challenge being put up to Adare now for the first time this year. There's been a serious challenge to their credentials, and Ballylanders may not be finished here yet. Kieran Kelly is threatening down the left.
It's Kieran Kelly now in possession here for Ballylanders. Loses it out of his hands, but he manages to find Stevie Fox. Behind him, Stevie Fox lays it all the way back to Brian O'Connell on the Adare 45. O'Connell's going to launch a high one in. There's no doubt he's looking for Kieran Callaghan. It's Callaghan now who's under it. He's unable to win possession this time. Good defender from Aidan O'Connor. That's going to be a free out for Adare. Will be brought forward as well. There's a man gone down there. It's Kieran O'Callaghan who booted the ball away. He was met by Aidan O'Connor. Could be a throw-in ball now on the back of that. Mike Sexton having a word with the Adare captain. It's going to be a throw-in ball. Needless foul by Aidan O'Connor, no need to get involved this late stage of the half with the ball down in front of their 21.
It just bears out exactly what Shawnee said a few minutes ago. Like there is a certain element of frustration creeping into Adare at this stage, and that type of stuff is uncharacteristic from Adare, the Adare team that we have seen over the last 2 years, and they're getting frustrated. They just cannot get the pattern of play. They cannot impose their will in the game. They cannot set the agenda for the game, and it has become frustrating for them.
Half time here in the Limerick Senior Football Championship, brought to you on sportinglimerick.com. It's a surprise lead for Ballylanders, but a justified lead. They lead Adare 9 points to 5. Shawnee Buckley, we said before the game, Adare were the favourites, but Ballylanders have mightily impressed in this opening half hour.
Yeah, textbook Ballylanders. Like they're an incredible one, really. Like a lot of the talk coming in was about the injuries they were carrying, and they had a couple of changes, obviously, but there was even talk of more lads being injured, and they're down to the bare bones and they have nothing, and suddenly they come out and play like that. It's exactly what they want. They love a siege mentality there, and you can see they're such a close unit there. They're really digging in for each other. Everything like a free, every sideline is fought for, every throw up is fought for. They're fighting, they're out fighting Adare at the minute. Adare don't have answers. Just all players that have been there before, Stephen Fox, Stephen Walsh, Jimmy Barry, these are the lads on probably days like today, these are the lads that really know what it is to fight really, really hard for something and to get over the line. Huge first half performance. If it goes anywhere similar to the second half, you can't see anything else but a Ballylanders win. There'll have to be some strong words at half time from Adare management. See, there's 5 or 6 of them gathered here in front of us. They'll have to have some strong words at half time if they're going to get the team and get some kind of response out of the team, because they need it, and they need it pretty fast. First couple of minutes of the second half are crucial, really.
Matt Shawnee's hit the nail on the head with that. Adare need a fast start to the second half of that, there's no question.
Yeah, they do, and he also said about Ballylanders, they've issues with injuries, and it's sad on the day like today, and we're looking at them down here under us to see fellas like Shane Fox and Owen Walsh missing out on a day like today, and they're a huge loss. Shane Fox was in smashing form this year until he picked up an injury which has ruled him out of the crucial stages of it, and of course we all know what Owen Walsh is, and I think Ballylanders are probably hoping against hope that at some stage during the game they will be in a position to introduce Owen Walsh down here on our left now. But it must be noted as well the performance that Kieran O'Callaghan, who wasn't down to start. Kieran has been reduced sort of to an impact sub coming off the bench these days, and a role he fills very well. But I think he has sent a message to everybody out there that start me and I can do it too. His first half performance was absolutely immense, because fair enough, Ballylanders got the ball to their finishers, and the finishers practically without exception, there's only 2 wides, and I think the 2 of them are down to Brian O'Connor. But Jimmy Barry Murphy, Danny Froon, Kieran O'Callaghan, totally economical with the chances they've got, totally on radar. Ballylanders lead 9 points to 5.
They're last season's Limerick Senior Football champions, have it all to do in the second half. They trail Ballylanders here at half time on sportinglimerick.com, 9 points to 5. We'll be back with the second half shortly.